It's Christmas, also known as the most wonderful time of the year. So let's gather around the plywood. Let's smoke inside and let's suck down some green apple Crown Royal because it's the fucking holidays, everybody. It's life after Lockup. What a fucking miserable show this is.
Oh my God.
A lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.
Yep. Bad TV in your ears. I am Dylan. I am saddled up next to one Pat Hickey.
Hey, great to be here, man.
Sigs and Sadness. Kalen's over there.
Hi.
Sigs and Sadness.
Sigs and Sadness. I want to go.
You go first, bro.
Well, no, you take care of public service announcements.
Oh, sure. Follow us on or join us at patreon.com/another podcast network. It's getting pretty damn epic over there. We have not chosen what our next show will be behind a paywall, but for now, we're recapping Vanderpump Rules with one Ruby Wren, who is super funny, clever, and just makes us better recapping Vanderpump Rules with her. We do really funny work with that. Of course, once a week, Dylan and I drop a show about him and I just gabbing about life. And we've heard that people say that's their favorite show, called Another Podcast Show. That's there at the $5 tier. And I guess all the episodes of Love is Blind. If you haven't jumped on what the entire world has been watching for the last month and you're late to it, catch up with us over there at patreon.com/another podcast network.
Jump the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars, kind words like Dr. Shoutout did. 5 stars, my new favorite show. Got turned on to you guys by Mary Payne. We love Mary Payne. Love you, Mary Payne. Go over and listen to Pink Shade if you have not. Subscribe. Do all the fun stuff. Support everybody. Love your recaps of Love is Blind. You say it out loud. We all thought his mama wasn't on that phone, girl. I vaguely recall that moment. That is from Dr. Showoff. How about that? We have people with doctorates listening to this show.
Oh, when we used to make fun of The Bachelor and we'd break down all the weirdness of that, we'd get hit up by some people that had doctorates in like psychology and whatnot and say, you guys are nailing this.
Right, yeah.
Like, wow, that's insane. Why are you listening to 3 idiots talk about this dumb show? But everyone needs a break, you know.
Everybody needs a break, and we're here to give it to you. Unfortunately, it's not going to be that lighthearted a break because we're covering Sigs and Sadness. Now, I want to start off my handcuffs by giving ABC's The Bachelor a little bit of credit. It took us years to learn how much we hated that show.
Right.
It has taken me 6 hours to learn that I despise this show. I don't think it's, never mind the entire cast of people who need the dystopian future of Ready Player One immediately, or they will not be happy. I mean, they need to be plugged in to some kind of metaverse where they are doing something outside of chain smoking inside and talking to their kids every once in a while. But there are things that happen in this show that point to bad production and just kind of a shoddy operation. The Lindsay and Blaine thing. Why are the animals in the car? I mean, you've not earned this kind of sequence. I don't know what is going on.
What's going on?
I have no clue what's going on. There are people that are entering the fray from what I think is 5 episodes ago. I mean, Marcelliano and Brittany, I mean, they're just not on the show, but sometimes they are. It's just...
Same with Cam and Eris.
It's so bizarre. The people on the show are not deserving of an afterthought, let alone an entire season of television. I'm looking forward to breaking it down, but I have to say, if I get one more cliffhanger about people who should probably be conscripted because it would give them structure in life, I'm just going to lose it. I'm going to flip the TV over. I don't care what's going to happen next week.
On Life After Lockup.
On Life After
Now,
Lockup.
Dylan, one of the cruel jokes of life is...
one pot.
We started this
3
out,
pots.
I think, 3 months ago, and we have some competitors that recap this same show.
Yeah. We would call them brothers and sisters in podcasting.
Of course. Right. Friends with all of them. One of the crueler aspects of this, while we simultaneously hate this show, I do have fun recapping it, although it is Sigs and Sadness. We are now in the top 2 podcasts recapping this. So that's interesting because we probably don't want to do this anymore yet. In 3 months, we've taken over this space.
Right, and you can put as much value into that title of second biggest podcast covering women's entertainment's life after lockup as you want. I don't put that much into it. Watching this show is not good for my mental health. It's not good for anybody's mental health. I just want people on UBI and plugged into the metaverse or lobotomized.
Okay. I will agree. Occasionally recapping this show is like trying to do a comedy podcast about the film Saving Private Ryan. It really is challenging.
Right.
You know, you got to have people, all these young kids dying on the ground, and I'm trying to make fodder out of it.
Yeah, look at that guy. Let's get to the young kid from Iowa scooping his intestines up with his helmet. Bet his mom's got a gross front yard. It's like, what the fuck?
All right, let me help fix this show. Producers, Dylan and I loved Love After Lockup. Now, like, don't get me wrong there. There was Sigs and Sadness throughout that. But it was more playful, okay? Having these filthy, yucky normies run scenes from hacky segment producers that should be fired on site.
What the hell's that, Blaine?
Okay. This is what we want because there was a glimmer. It was a glimmer of hope in this episode. When Derek and Mo and that cute bottle service girl went to a nightclub at 6:30.
Yeah.
7 hours before any paying customers would ever arrive to pay $200 for a bottle of vodka that you could buy at a Vaughn's for $17.
What nightclub advertises like a Caro's? I mean, it's just nuts. What nightclub is promoting early bird specials? I don't understand it.
I'll say it makes no sense to me, but I'll tell you what. I could watch an entire series of Mo in a bottle service area and then Derek trying to hit the pisser so that he can get the number of the cute bottle service girl.
Right.
Wonderful television. I loved the idea. We never went back there, by the way. We just woke up the next morning. He's making her fucking pancakes or some shit.
Yeah, he feeds her a lot tonight, and that was uncomfortable.
But that's what we want more of, okay? Less Sigs and Sadness. By the way, little thought here, Dylan.
Yeah, I don't want to pay bills with Chance and have him look to camera and go, I don't know if I'm lying or not. What are you talking about?
I mean, I got fired from a job and I haven't told my wife and it's been a month, man. I mean, is that lying?
I'm doing this grocery.
He's an Uber Eats driver, Dylan. Sigs and Sadness. Now, here's the thought about Sigs and Sadness.
No, he's a grocery acquisition professional.
Anyway, it's all sad. Now, we've joked about the show being called Sigs and Sadness, but I had a thought about this. After seeing Puppy and Amber just sig out in that car, I'm thinking, why not name them Sigs and Sadness?
Yeah.
A duo. Like the history of Lewis and Martin, Laurel and Hardy. Now, Sigs and Sadness. They don't make you laugh. They won't entertain you. But you know what they will do? They'll make you feel way better about your life.
Dude, a Puppy or Sadness, I'm presuming.
Yes.
Has this thing where I feel like Agent Smith is doing something to my reality. Like when I see how sunken her countenance and life is, I start to kind of like, my vision gets pulled to hell. I mean, it's just fucking horrifying shit.
Help us, listeners, little baddies, to torture Dylan even further, although he doesn't care about having the number 2 spot covering life after lockup.
No.
In the next week or next episode, share with your friends or listen to the episode twice. I don't know, however it works. Help us be number 1. Help us get to number 1.
Who were the great explorers that went up whatever with Sacagawea?
I'm sorry?
The explorers that discovered the Northwest or something with
Lewis and Clark?
Lewis and Clark. Puppy and Amber. Eric's their Sacagawea.
Like, Lewis, come over here. There's a hole over here. I think there's some crack in it.
I found another bottle of Midori with half a shot in it.
Great.
All right, let's get into the show.
All right.
We've been going for 9 minutes. We haven't talked about the show. All right. So last we left off, Monique had slept alone because she had found the receipts in Derek's phone. Also, she drank an ungodly amount of wine that could put... See, I don't want to say that.
It's okay.
Because it's Kaylin's first night editing. We don't want to throw an uncensored episode on him. And I don't want to.
We got to censor ourselves.
Yeah, we got to censor ourselves.
Well, can I take this one?
There's a lot of wine.
All right.
It's a lot of wine.
It's a lot of wine. Mo takes a call from her sister, and we're reminded that Derek got the basement treatment because he continues to insert his penis into other hoes, and he's really sloppy with leaving evidence on his iPhone, you know? So say what you will about Mo, but there is no doubt she is the Sherlock Holmes of this franchise, and it's worth noting that the real Sherlock Holmes definitely didn't get herpes from Derek.
What happened?
Well, remember she was worried she did a sexual disease thing because he's been putting his dick in a bunch of... He admits on the show, every time they do the recap, I slept with like 10 different girls.
Dude, it's so...
And he might have herpes.
It's so funny how bad the men are at concealing their adulterous behavior. But when they get caught, it's always this... I can't have friends. It's like, I'm sorry. Do your friends send you videos of them fingering themselves?
Good friends do.
Yeah. But anyways, all is well because he has laid out candles. He's laid out roses. The petals are weathered from the overhead compartment and days without water. But they're roses nonetheless, and he has made pancakes with whipped cream. He's also got some Prosecco ready to go. Easy with the pour this time, big guy. It's 8:15. He asks her to trust him. And she is still hell-bent on this phone thing. Derek is a man who attacks people violently in the streets with his penis or whatever he's in prison for now. I don't remember. But Monique, would you shut up about the phone? I mean, my God, I'm getting tired of Monique doing this thing where she's like, I mean, she's rude to the bottle service girl.
Very rude.
Who's just trying to get a little camera time. I mean, she wants nothing to do with
him.
See?
Let me take this over.
Go ahead.
She does bring up that phone again after he pours her a nice glass of bubbly, and Derek explains all that activity on his phone as just girls sliding into his DMs.
Yeah.
And he's just being courtesy when he responds. You see, there's nothing unseemly responding to a girl with a photo of her asshole spread open with an emoji or a happy face and another one with a tongue out. It's just being polite.
Is that over the beak? Is that over, like, the emoji, is it over the actual...
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what these kids do. I just find words on the internet to make it look like I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, well, you're failing.
Okay.
And my God, what an unbelievably grotesque thing you just laid out. That I feel like we should bleep, but... it's Kaylin's first go with this. I don't want to unload a bunch of work on him just the first time.
No, I think it's fine. The point is, girls were sending pictures of their vaginas to him, and he'd respond with an emoji. And Mo says, I still have an issue with that.
You didn't say that. You said spread out asshole.
Well, some of the photos probably look like that, you know?
Who sends those kinds of photos?
Oh, these kids these days, man.
Now, things are going well. He's going to give her something to tell her sisters tonight. And that thing is... a morning striptease in boxers and an apron, and then presumably sex. I don't know that she needs to. Who's the guy that told us the Canadians were coming, or the British were coming?
Paul Revere?
Yeah, I don't think that she needs to go Paul Revere that information to her sisters.
Ride through the night.
Let's get to Bozo and Hotshot. Sarah and Sean. There is this thing going on about adoption and the custody of the child. And it's an entire story going on, and I gotta say, I just can't be bothered with it. I don't remember what they were talking about.
Well, Anthony wants to say that he's the dad of Abby, and Sarah wants to make nice with Anthony and Sean stumbles through his attempt at running lines through this horrible segment that a producer wrote down for him.
Right.
It all really just sucks. This show is to be saved. This couple needs their goddamn walking papers. This is a couple in this little vignette that they do of their little fake storyline where I'm like, I don't think Dylan wants to recap this podcast, this show anymore. No.
But regardless, they are going to introduce Abby to her real father. She continues to say this is for the child, but something tells me that she's kind of keeping phallic exits ajar.
Someone
you know what
warming
I mean?
up in the bullpen,
Yes.
as you say?
She wants to keep some side dick open. More power to her, because Sean still has not taken that jacuzzi out of the living room. It's been 4 months. That's an indication of somebody who is just too atrophied. Low T.
Low T.
Let's get to our favorite couple, Monique and Montana Mills. Now, Mocha has thrown a wrench into their lives with his demands that Montana Mills publicly diss that bitch wife of his at public appearances and on the gram. And also, Mocha killed a guy last week.
Yeah, Kaylin, I don't think you're watching the show anymore.
No.
One of the cast members, the big record producer. Yeah,
You don't need to address him when you're
I
saying
gotta let
this.
him know you know.
Well, we can just talk to the audience, and then he'll know. It's a,
Mocha killed a guy. Now, Dylan, you watched the video of it?
Yeah, I watched the video of it. Mocha was having a really cool conversation over Zoom on a guy's podcast about, I think, the industry. When someone marched into his backyard, Mocha immediately stood up, yelled a profanity, and the camera went black. Now, from reports, I think what happened is Mocha killed that guy.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. He killed a guy, you know?
Yeah. To Mocha's credit, it did look like he was being attacked.
Now, I know this is going to sound a little judgy, but, you know, Justine and Michael, and I don't want to say that Mocha's involved with anything nefarious. Is that a word? Nefarious.
Lothario.
However, I've never had someone walk in my backyard with a gun trying to kill me. So
Right.
Mocha might have been involved in some questionable activity.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to be judgy. Come
You know
at
who
me.
I bet it was? I bet it was the guy that printed all those records for him, and Mocha just stiffed him. And he was like, dude, you owe me $317. And Mocha killed him. So Monique seems to think that with...
Monique.
Excuse me. What's her name?
Justine.
Sorry. Justine seems to think that Mocha's demands, Montana Mills is going to be an absent father. And I'm not sure where she's getting that from. I think that's an unfair criticism.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I do appreciate that.
Hello, third, fourth, and fifth child. I just wanted to bring you here today to tell you that I cannot accommodate you. I'm going shopping in Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, it's funny because the way she frames it, she says she gets upset because she feels like she sacrificed a lot, and then she reminds him what a horrible father he was to his children, and she's nervous about her future. And I agree with Justine on every part of this, but I tweak her thoughts. He wasn't just a horrible father. He currently is a horrible father.
Well, we'll get to their real estate portfolio.
Oh, my favorite part
later.
of it. That's again a great part of the show.
Well, great part of the show when we learn that while Montana Mills may not be the greatest father, Justine is not the greatest mother either.
Right.
So let's get to Puppy and the Lighter Thief. They're both trying to do better. They're talking about life improvements while lurching over to light their Marlboro 100s lest the wind snuff out their buzz. God, this was a tough scene to watch.
Oh man, TC. Well, so I guess Puppy's...
Trying to stop smoking so many cigarettes. I got to get back to the gym.
It's like, oh God. There's a patina to the interior of that fucking felt. It's disgusting.
All right, so then they get out of the car and they stop by Puppy and TC's place, I guess, because Puppy's going to live there or some shit.
Well, Amber and TC's place. Puppy's going to live there. They pull up to TC's and things are tense. Puppy lays out the tension with the cadence of someone who spent too long underwater as a child. It was just one pool party.
There wasn't
She
a lifeguard.
lived, but yeah, you know, just the wettest, most bummer brain. I mean, my God. It's Christmas, also known as the most wonderful time of the year. So let's gather around the plywood. Let's smoke inside and let's suck down some green apple Crown Royal because it's the fucking holidays, everybody. It's life after lockup. What a fucking miserable show this is.
Oh my God. Come on, guys.
TC is immediately furious, his default setting. And he's tight-lipped to where it looks as though he's speaking out of a butthole.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Popeye with a fucking corn husk like fucking pipe. He's like,
yeah. His lips have the quality of a sandworm's mouth. You know what I mean? But he tells Puppy that she should compliment his fucking tree when she comes into a house. I think he does it in a joking manner, but
very passive aggressive. It's scary.
Passive aggressively super aggressive. It was weird. He tells her that she needs to leave the bullshit
outside
in some vague area. And then they bond over what a drunk Amber is.
Yeah.
She comes back in and we go from 0 to 100. This escalates to perhaps the saddest thing we've seen on the show. A woman who had an abortion who is intermingled with an emotionless long hauler, and it's the most wonderful time of the year. I mean, it's just so sad.
What's interesting is when Sigs and Sadness go back outside, TC, just like he I think he goes back to scratching a scratch ticket. He's not moved at all.
Oh, no. And Amber's like, I had an abortion and you didn't do anything. I was crying right next to you. You didn't say anything. And he's like, I didn't know what to do.
Sigs and Sadness.
It's your girlfriend. She had an abortion because it was going to kill her and she's crying. At the very least, chuck a forearm over the shoulder, you moron. Oh, my God. So, let's get to Chance and Tyler. Mm-hmm. Taylor. Taylor's sister comes over. She's the one with the new face tattoos who came up from Arizona to see the baby be born, then left the hospital almost instantly. Mm-hmm. To her credit, though, hospitals can be very droll.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have left too.
I agree.
And Chance is annoying. Chance is told to stay at the house and take care of the home and the children, and he has quite the puss about the whole thing. He goes full Napoleon Dynamite when he finds out that he can't have friends over. Come on. What the hell, Taylor? Gosh. Tanya's just my friend I've been talking to on the internet. God, you suck, dude.
Well, the sisters go grab lunch.
Can I get a double Jack and honey? Oh, wow. No, that's lightweight. Oh, my God, man. And the tattoos everywhere and the new grocery job. This guy is hands down the worst person on the show to me.
And he's got us talking about him, which that is the quiet self-torture of myself.
You know, we were talking about our meaning in life in our Below Deck episode, and I mentioned that I was talking to my therapist about it. And I want to bring up that session again because on Monday I walked in and I said, you know, I've been struggling with purpose a lot. And she said, okay, tell me about that. And I said, do you know the show Life After Lockup? And she said, I don't. And I said, you don't know Chance from Life After Lockup? She said, I don't. And then I spent the next 5 minutes, which probably cost, I don't know, like
$100.
Yeah. Talking to her about Chance and how he's addicted to breakfast sandwiches. And she was like, are you sure you want to keep talking about this? I was like, I have to. So yeah, the show's really hurting.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Well, they grab lunch and the two sisters, and they discuss his messages from Jessica and his longtime friend Tanya.
Yeah, so they get to whatever barbecue joint they've arrived at, and Taylor shows her sister a DM in which Chance says the only problem in his life is that he has a crazy girlfriend that tracks him all the time. And then when she puts the phone away, she goes, "Oh no, I still love him."
Great.
Why?
Have 3 more kids with him.
Yeah.
Have 3 more fucking kids with him, you loser.
Oh my gosh. Kudos to the face tattoo. She says sometimes love is not enough.
Well, her sister says, you know, you got to lay down some boundaries. And I was like, Bobby, that train left the station years ago. Jesus Christ. She procreated with a man who thinks his future is in power washing.
Well, no, because Chance, unlike me, says yes to Pascal's wagers very quickly. You know, he's like, I don't know if my purpose is power washing, but what if it is? what if I refute that calling and I am on my deathbed wondering if that could have been the happiest moment of my life? So he just goes and does it, right? Now he quickly finds out that no, power washing is
It's not going to be an empire.
It's not going to be an empire nor his purpose. So he goes to, just flat out unemployment for a while. Then going and asking his buddy if he's got any work to chuck at him. And then he begins his grocery acquisitions career. Now that I'm talking about it, I don't know that he has a purpose in life, which is why I don't need to get there. I don't need to say that. But you would agree that the metaverse would help Chance.
Oh, 100%.
If Chance had Yang's $2,000 a month and the metaverse, Chance would leave us alone.
Yes. He'd tune in, turn on, and drop out, and we wouldn't have to fucking deal with him driving in that goddamn pickup truck on fucking Honey Jack Daniel shots.
Yeah. Well, that's lightweight. What are you doing here? Just breaking the rules like I always do. Oh, my. All right. But that happens at the end of the episode. We have to get to Lindsay turning her garage door into a speed bag. She has a psychotic break.
Yes.
She has a full-blown psychotic break that drives her to say, and
prison is easier.
If you don't watch the show, you might think that this is a bit, but she really does say, I wish I was still in prison. Her daughter is on the outside world. Her family is on the outside world. And she has been put under so much stress working part-time at a rehab center that she is on the floor bawling and praying to be sent back to prison.
The only real moment I feel like we've gotten with their storyline is this call to the sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how familiar you are with this world.
Why or have we gotten here? Like, I feel like it's...
Well, she's mad Blaine hasn't moved boxes yet.
I know, but I feel like either she's just nuts or there was more going on. Like, it just didn't feel earned.
Well, this could be some of those things, and we talk about it often with reality TV, where they tell them to do a scene, but and Lindsay is kind of an actress, I think, at heart. What they do is they grab some former pain or some real things that are happening, and then they use that to work themselves through a scene. And you're like, are you really this upset that Blaine didn't move the boxes?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Blaine is obviously... Never mind.
Well, Blaine calls her a disrespectful bitch.
Okay. So, yeah, yeah, he does. Okay. She's on the ground crying to her sponsor. Mm-hmm. And her sponsor is like, can I call you back?
Yeah. Because she needed to call her sponsor. That's how it works.
Yeah.
This lunatic that I'm sponsoring.
She comes out and she asks Blaine what he's done lately in terms of household chores, and this sets him off. Blaine says, upon hearing the criticisms of his lack of work ethic, she keeps forgetting that I did a bunch of stuff for her last year, and right now she's just being a goddamn ungrateful bitch. Now, I ain't supposed to leave the house at night, but I'm a goddamn tube right now. He says something about being a tube. He's going to bust. So he packs his bags despite the house arrest order that saved him from multiple decades.
Well, they let him play paintball today. So
and is evidently extremely lenient and says, I can't do this. I'm a tube. And then he goes and he's going to steal one of her cars, securing a place back inside a federal prison.
She even tells him, you take my fucking car, I'll call the popo.
Let's get to an interstitial, one of the best of the season. It begins with Derek saying Monique loves to eat. And he clues us in on a little nickname we've got for his dick. I think it's called the dog bone.
It is.
And there's just this kind of voyeuristic pleasure in Derek climbing the ladder that is Monique's body to get to an angle where he can aerosol in sugared cream into her face. And also the way that he rubs her and also the way he feeds her. It was haunting and hilarious.
Well, Dylan, so this is called prison knowledge, right? Or prison hacks, kind of like a play on it?
So most of the time we do learn stuff about prison.
Well, if what I glean from this, and this is just very brief, when your partner wants to argue over you cheating on them, just squirt whipped cream in their mouth.
Yeah. Especially. All right, so soft, inspiring music plays us into Brittany and Marcialano's blissful relationship.
Now, Dylan, because there's a kid involved and these people are fucking losers and they're the second couple that needs to be eliminated if they want to make this a show that will last, I think we don't show them the goddamn respect to recap this. They had poor little, God, what's his name?
Giancarlo?
Yeah.
Giovanni?
Yes, and just this chaotic environment. Guys, you don't deserve the paycheck anymore. You're not allowed on this show. You bring a kid.
What do you
on
want us to do? Joke about how, like, oh, this is really great that they're turning it around at this park bench, but the first 7 years of his life are going to need to be unpacked by a psychologist that he's never going to see because he's going to stay in Florida with you fucking chocolate liqueur suckers. I mean, this guy's hanging out at bars in the middle of the day trying to pick up people with metal hips. Damn, man. It's so hard to get out of these environments. Mm-hmm. Poor Giovanni. Damn. You know, it's uncomfortable.
Big time.
Your heart breaks for these kids.
I do. It does. Should we just quit doing the show?
Well, I mean, after the season, yeah.
What if we're number one?
Patrick, you and I will need to have a conversation. If we're the number one women's entertainment life after lockup recap podcast, that's a discussion. But I'm leaning towards let's never watch this again. All right, so I thought this went really well. We have to get to the Mexican standoff.
Sean and Sarah. Anthony says Sean looks old, and I think he wants to beat him up or something like that.
Yeah, what Sean did was he made a huge mistake. When you see an open extended hand from an inbred dumb drug addict, you have to shake it. Even if you don't mean it, it's like giving a hamster like a drop of sugar water. You just need to kind of put them at ease, lest their red, beady, drug-addicted fucking eyes and motocross T-shirts get pissed at you. God, this guy sucks. Let's get back to Monique and Montana Mills. He's turned a corner and has made a choice. He's going to be proud of his wife moving forward.
He's never taken that ring off.
Mocha is
for people that don't care about his career.
Yeah.
You fucking loser.
Next time I perform at the Latin Grammys pre-brunch ceremony, I'm going to be proudly wear my wedding ring so that everybody knows you're my bitch.
You know, I'd argue if you're attempting to conceal the true nature of your personal life from adoring fans, you might want to avoid being on a reality show.
Yeah,
you know?
Great point. Yeah.
All right,
it's like if Spies had a reality show. How did they find out? All right, so now that their relationship is healed,
yeah,
we can go shop for some dream homes.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Kylie, she got accepted to a college in Vegas, so this all makes sense to go home shopping right now.
Yeah, now we just have 7 other children to take care of. But budget is $600,000. First up, 4,600 square feet. We don't know when people are stopping in sometimes. How are you? I'm Slimy Real Estate Dealer. The house costs $2 million.
I love when Barbie and Ken, the fucking real estate, boy, were they Vegas. Oh, hey, do you have any questions? And Montana Mills goes, yeah, give us a minute. And I was like, questions about what?
Dude, they were not so much Vegas as they were real estate people. Like, I want a real estate agent that hates his job.
Right.
I want a real estate agent that's like, it's got a sauna. I don't want a real estate agent that's like the steam room feature in the master. Oh, you can't say that word anymore. They're just too. It's too big a lie. It's like, this isn't your house. You don't give a shit about this house. Why are you talking to me? Like, you built it with your bare hands. It's so bizarre.
Can I talk about these two phonies for a second?
Yeah, Monique and Montana Mills, or excuse me, Justine and Montana Mills.
Yeah. These two frauds. They're the epitome of fake it till you make it, but it's so clear what they're doing. By the way, I want to point this out. Whenever one of your friends, they say they're faking it till they make it, you go, so you lied on your resume? You're a liar. I mean, fake it till you make it means you're lying to people, right?
Yeah, and you got to do that every once in a while.
But not to the level of these two fools.
Well, no, you can't do it with banks.
No.
No.
So he's bragging that, while he was in jail, he wasn't able to work or anything. But that publishing money was rolling in. And I think that's what's bankrolling this. Well, much like some idiots that I worked with on Hollywood Boulevard a number of years ago, we have a little thing called the internet, Montana Mills. I looked up your Spotify numbers, and it would indicate that you're not setting the world on fire. You have one song, and you've been on this show for a year now, 34,000 listens, and that is your number one. And then you have 4 others that have a couple thousand. So, and I'm pretty sure that white label sneaker business is a sham as well.
Kaylin, do you have Spotify on your computer?
I do.
Can we listen to Montana Mills' number one song on Spotify? There's this thing where Spotify pays out 1/10 of a cent per
site,
per stream.
So he's made $34.
Yeah, with that song, but he's paid for Netflix for Justine for a year off those royalties. The most you got it?
Hold on, give me a minute.
Okay, so the most shocking part about this is Justine's response.
Mm-hmm. Well, she says, we need a minute to discuss this. Discuss what, you two fucking phonies?
Discuss
what? It's 3 times your budget.
It's like if I walked into I'm just going to go watch shopping. I walk into Cartier and they're like, you could have this one for $42,000. I'd be like, let me just go have a conversation real quick.
Let me call my financial advisor.
Yeah.
Do you have it, Kaylin?
Yeah.
Go ahead, play it.
Yeah, play it.
It's not bad, by the way.
Oh, really?
He's got 4 records.
4?
I'm pretty sure.
When you say record, do you mean song
Full
or albums?
Albums, yeah. But I'm old, so.
It must be the bars, it must be the moves, it must be the way that I slay. It might be the cars, it might be the juice. All
right, can you turn it off?
Cause I came from
It sucks, right?
So Monique, Justine's response to that is, what does the word budget even mean?
Well, I don't know.
How many children do you have? You fucking idiot.
Go try and get a loan with that thought process.
Well, what
does money even mean? Well, we're not going to give you any money.
This couple is one of the many munitions that brought down the global economy in 2000.
Yeah.
It was these people that were like, our budget's 600, but if it's 3 million over and you're giving us a no income, no asset loan, and you don't check our credit at all, because I'll tell you, my credit's 480. Nope, doesn't matter. Well, 3.5 million, just buy the house.
And if I'm being honest, I don't actually own that plumbing business. I kind of do some side work.
Hey, don't you worry about it. It's all, you write off all of it. It doesn't matter.
These two fools were those people.
Monique says something about not being worried because...
You mean Justine?
Excuse me. Justine says something about not being worried because she, and I'm not misquoting her, doesn't know how his music career is going to go.
Right.
Which would be, I believe, a reason for caution, not optimism.
Exactly. Hey, Michael, that offer's still on the table. I might be scared that you might try and kill me or something.
Yeah.
But here's where your career is going to be. You're going to be handing out fucking yogurt samples at the mall next year when this fucking show dumps you, you fucking loser. So cut the shit.
Wow, that's so mean. Hey, can you play that song again?
turning to something I refuse to give it away. You niggas is fools, don't follow the rules. I mastered this game that we play.
I mean, he sucks, right?
Stop all the pointing and indication that was off in the muscle, that's dedication. Innovation with a couple Haitians that are kicking your door with no invitation. I said the bar has no limitations, but they still invasive because they got no patience.
If you had a family member that presented this at a party, you go, cool.
Listen, I don't know. He could pop off. I mean, he had a couple. He had some good flow there. I don't know. Yeah, Lil Xan's big, so why can't he be big? You know what I mean?
I don't know who that is.
All right. So let's get to Monique and Derek. He is going to make Monique feel like a queen. They are energized after feeling one another and feeding one another, and are now going to make good on that early bird special from that club. Now, Monique has...
How did they get her to do this?
Monique has a lot of issues with... Well, first, when they're in the car ride over, her sisters seemed to be very, very angry about Derek. And I was like, whoa, calm down, bitches. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then I remembered that they have every reason to be upset because they're still licking their wounds from Helm's Deep. And Derek has cheated on their sister. This is one of those occasions where the hardest thing to do when you love somebody is to, I don't know, like excommunicate them or something. Like, I don't know what you do with drug addicts who keep stealing from you. But Monique is the issue here. It's not Derek.
Yes.
Derek is a piece of shit.
He's showing you who he is, and you are denying reality by continuing on this.
I'm not saying that Derek is not an issue, but Derek is a fixed variable. He is a cheating, habitual offender. So, Monique, maybe wake up, stop being with him.
Well, thank God I think he's back in the clink.
He is back in the clink for aggressively, violently attacking people.
Yeah.
But it weirds me out when Monique is so rude to other women. Now the bottle service girl did try to get a little bit too much.
Well, she wanted to do a selfie with him.
She wanted to do a selfie, but there's this thing where it's like, get away from my man. It's this insecurity that manifests in an outward aggression towards every single woman that they encounter, and it's psychotic.
Mo's life. It's definitely a life I don't think a lot of us would want to live. You know, you wouldn't want to live in her life. You know,
because she's a black woman.
No, she has no self-esteem.
Why not?
Because she's a little overweight.
I mean, she has more self-esteem than I do, and that's a fact.
All right,
let's get back to Sean and Sarah and Anthony. Anthony makes me angry, so why don't you take this?
Oh, yeah, so he's really pissed. Sean's sitting in the car, and he's telling Sarah, like, hey, that guy didn't shake my goddamn hand, man.
Yeah.
I want to punch him in the face.
This is like a Zoolander bit. It's like...
All while a baby is in her arms. By the way, the baby is not Abby. The baby is Sean and Sarah's.
Yeah.
Really classy to do a scene like this, by the way. Really classy. Producers.
Yeah, and such a beautiful park, too. The confidence of a drug-addicted absentee father is just astounding. I mean, this man is standing with his chest out.
Yeah.
So, let's move on. Turns out Blaine did not leave and break the unreasonable limitations of the ankle bracelet that allows him to really do whatever he wants, including paintballing. There's nothing he can do now. Lindsay has left the house. She has packed up what seems to be an entire home, not a dilapidated shack in Missouri. I mean, she's taking the animals. There is a lot of stuff in the car. Again, I just didn't see
how this ramped up to this.
I mean, there's so much stuff in the car. And he calls her in a bizarre, panicked, emotional state.
Yeah, well, he tells her he loves her and to come back, I think. And then she says, we've hit rock bottom.
Let's get to Chance and Taylor. We begin with Chance asking the rhetorical and stupid question, if I withhold information, am I lying? While he Instacarts for people.
Yes, you lost your job and you literally have 5 mouths to feed. This
is what's so insane about how dumb Chance is. He calls it like this grocery store thing. And it's like, dude, like, you need to make money. Like, didn't you have to sign up for this? Didn't you have to download the app? Like, have a little bit of awareness of at least what the thing that you're doing is called. I don't know. It's like, do you see what I'm getting at?
Absolutely. I would love, I got to know how much these people are being paid to be on this stupid show. I have to know how much they're being paid.
Dude, that's probably why he's so... Yeah, I think that he knows that he's going to get a check from this show. So he's like, whatever. We got $61,000
coming in this year.
Yeah.
Come on.
So he saddles up to, he hits up an old friend and then goes on airplane mode. And I think he's hanging out with Tanya.
I think he's going to, but I want to say that while all this is happening, Bobby and her sister, Taylor, are hanging out on the couch, and we learned that a major milestone has happened with the family. Her 4-year-old daughter has learned how to say fuck for the first time.
Yeah.
Great parenting.
And yet another woman on Life After Lockup who is tracking the father of her child. Feels like the Bourne Identity sometimes, this show. Mm-hmm. So he saddles up to the bar and things kick off lightweight. Double Jack Daniels honey. The woman he's speaking to asks him what he's doing, to which he replies, breaking the rules like I always do.
Fucking loser.
What are you, Mr. Beam? Oh my God. For everyone's sake, please, Chance, go back to prison. I want a lot of people on this show to do better. Chance, not one of them. We end with a family affair and a broken promise. Monique promised a threesome when Derek got out of prison.
Come on now.
Now, the logistics of that seem impossible to pull off. But this gaslighting shit that she does.
Derek, I don't know what you want me to do.
God damn it, man. You got to bleep that. Just cut it out of the show if you don't want to do it. Just cut that out of the show. Derek is getting gaslit by Monique.
She promised a threesome.
And I know that she did when she was talking on fucking
Prison FaceTime.
Inmate Mate or something like that. And now she's like, you want to be with me or do you want to be with other women? Hey, take it easy, Fatso. You're being a liar right now. You told them you were going to have a threesome. Just admit that you were lying. Don't do this whole thing where you're like, oh, you want to be with other women? Just shut up.
Annie points out, hey, I've heard threesomes help relationships. It's a nice play there, Derek. I don't know if she's going to buy it, though.
Yeah, polyamory brings us closer together.
And then suddenly there's a knock at the door. And Derek peeks up like he's alarmed. I think he thinks that bottle service girl is going to be at the
Well, he told her to come over. They speak of the orcs and whether or not they're going to be there. Spoiler, the knock on the door is not them. It is the pizza delivery guy, and his forearm is quivering. All right, that's it for us. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Leave 5 stars, kind words. Join us on Patreon, YouTube, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Hop over there on Facebook. That's a good one. That's my favorite place.
Me too.
People have a lot of fun over there. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Pat, say goodbye.
Later, guys.
Kaylin.
Bye-bye. There's a lot of stuff on TV, but not all of it's good. In fact, a lot of it's bad TV.